Hey everybody, this is Sheila from Designs by Baby Moon, and this past weekend was Applique Getaway, and it was so much fun, y'all. It was an absolute blast. The show was fantastic. The organizer, Wendy Skaggs, did a amazing job just coordinating things and making sure that not only the attendees had a great time, which they absolutely did, but also that the vendors and the instructors were all very well taken care of. And y'all, it was fantastic. But one of the things I thought would be fun, especially since I've been watching everybody's haul videos from Applique Getaway, and I thought some of you might be interested to know, what does another vendor buy at a vendor event when they're surrounded by all of this creative energy and inspiration? So I'm going to show you my haul of the goodies that I picked up at Applique Getaway. Now, did I buy everything I wanted? No, because I'm not allowed to spend all of my profit on stuff that I'm bringing home. But I did, I was very good, and I brought home less than I took of my own stuff. So yay, great sales. It was really awesome. So thank you to everybody that came by and supported the Designs by Baby Moon booth. And super thanks to everybody that came to my classes. Y'all, we had an absolute ball. In preparation for the event, I actually used up a lot of supplies, and there were new things that I knew that were going to be there. And so I just want to kind of show you what I got. So, ready? Okay, so one of the things that I did, and this is just like part of the event, there's these after hours event, and I hosted one on Friday night, and we were the DIY Divas, and I brought all my tools, and I had made a bunch of goodies, and the goal of the night was to kind of do like a make and take. Like, I'd done all the embroidery work, but then everybody had to learn how to use the tools to put it all together. It was kind of a hands-on event so that you could see how the tools work, get a feel for them in your hands. And I gave everybody a resource list of, you know, what my favorites were and where to get some of the other ones. I even brought some of the janky ones that aren't my favorite, but everybody has a different thing that they like. So I took those tools too, so that everybody could try all of the things and kind of get a feel for how they worked. And we had so much fun. It was an absolute blast. In the process of making the things for the attendees, and I think there were like 42 people in that event, I used up a ton, I'm telling you, a ton of machine embroidery, vinyl. I mean, I say it's a ton. I make little things. So for me, a ton is a lot, not that much, but I feel like I used a ton. If I was a serious hardcore bag maker, I could definitely go through the vinyl much quicker than I actually do. But I had made key fobs and bag tags and wristlet things for everybody to assemble it together. So I know it didn't take a whole lot of things, but I had multiple sets of everything so that we had plenty. And so I did use up some materials, and that was actually really fulfilling because I cleaned out some area in my supply. I'm pointing over there because it's on the other side of this table, is where my vinyl supply cabinets in the bottom of 2 IKEA cabinets, and I put them in baskets, and I can close the door, except I haven't been able to close the door because it's been too full. Well, now I got to the point where I was able to leave the house and close the door, so that was really fun. Well, that hole in my vinyl stash, that kind of seems kind of sad. And then I went to Applique Getaway, and there were some great vendors with amazing things and some new vinyls that I had seen around on the internet, but I haven't gotten to play with. So let me show you what I got. So from the first place that I stopped was the Sweet and Sassy Blanks booth, and they pulled out all the stops as usual, but she had some of the coolest vinyl. So these are like a jelly vinyl, and this has glitter in it. And I have jelly vinyl. I mean, I have some clear vinyls. This is super, super great. So I got several of these colors. I know I got 2 of these hot pink ones that are thin and translucent, and then they also have glitter embedded in them. So these are great for like some of my Annie bags that I love to make that have the clear pockets for organizing. And this one's like clear sparkle. Here's another hot pink. And at a trade show or a vendor event, these items are usually at a super great price. And so it's worth going to an event. You save on shipping. I mean, you pay to get in, but you save on shipping. And also there's usually show specials that the vendors run. And so it's a great place to get things, especially if you're not sure of how they, when you order online, you're not always sure how they look and feel. But anyway, this is a glow-in-the-dark glitter vinyl. And y'all, I used up a whole row of glitter canvas for one of the projects that I had. But this one's glow-in-the-dark, so it's sparkle, plus it glows in the dark. And I cannot wait, it's wrapped in paper, so it's, you know, it doesn't get marred by anything. But I cannot wait to see how this performs. I actually have some black cat designs that I want to make for this glow-in-the-dark. And that glow-in-the-dark, I also got it in pink. It's kind of a peachy salmon pink, but it has sparkles too. Got a couple of rolls of that. And then, let's see, is there any more? Oh yeah, this is glow-in-the-dark. These two are both glow-in-the-dark. So there's a hot pink and then this light pink. And oh, these are going to be so much fun to play with. See, I'm already running out of room in my lap. And then here's a couple more of those glitter vinyl rolls. And I'm going to go ahead and open up this black one because this one's like a black glitter, clear sparkle roll. That's what she calls them. And again, this is on the Sweet and Sassy Blanks website. So you can see those there. She just had oodles. She brought a ton. She sold a ton. And you know, I want to say I bought a ton. I didn't buy a ton, but I bought some. And anyway, let's open up the black one because I want to see. I mean, I could see a little bit how translucent it was, but it is very dark. But I just want to see how much I can see through it. So let's get a blade. Or something that can cut through something. Here's a little blade. Got one. Didn't think to bring scissors over here because this isn't a sewing video. But let's see. Let's take this wrapper off. Let's get my blade going. Open it up. And carefully take that off. Just going to slice through the wrapper. There we go. Set that aside. Close my blade up. And then look at this. It's black and it's sparkly. Oh my gosh, that is going to make the cutest pockets. I mean, you can see my hand through it. To the background, you can see the light going through, but oh, that is so cool. And you actually, I think you could probably see the glitter in there. I mean, this is cool stuff, y'all. I cannot wait to use it. So several colors of that. And she had so many more colors. I didn't get all the colors. There's some colors I just don't use a whole lot of. But I use a lot of pinks and purples, and I use a lot of black because it makes my heart happy. There's probably something wrong with me. This one is a rose gold, so it's clear. Okay, but it's got a ton of sparkle in it. Let's open this one up too. It's just got so much sparkle built into the material. But it's not, like, it doesn't flake off, so I don't have, like, I'm not covered in glitter already just by handling this. It's just very, very luminous and gorgeous. And I have worked with this kind of stuff before, so I know it sews really well. I know I can embroider with it. I'm not sure that I'm going to put like heavy, dense designs on this, like full of embroidery stitches, but I am going to use it, like I said, for some of those projects that have like a clear pouch or a zipper thing in them, because this is just lovely. And it's just a little bit, makes those bags a little bit extra fun, sparkly. I love sparkles. And so I'm very, very excited to get to use those. Okay, the other thing I got from Glitterbug, I mean, not Glitterbug, I did go to Glitterbug too, but Sweet and Sassy, are some new rainbow vinyls. And y'all, I'm all about rainbows and glitter, but I also don't want glitter all over my house, so that's why I like that sparkle. All the glitter is encapsulated in the fabric, so it's not going to get everywhere. We don't want a mess. I mean, we don't mind a mess. I say we, me, you, us. We don't mind a mess, but we don't want to have a mess if we don't have to. Okay, look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? It's like a holographic pastel rainbow vinyl, like kind of mermaidy, kind of unicorn, kind of beachy, but for me, kind of all the time. Oh, I love that. That'll be really pretty to incorporate in some projects too, whether you're making snap tabs. It's the good stuff. So it has a nice mesh backing, kind of a canvas. This one's really soft, so this would actually be really great for zipper bags where you're not lining them, because the inside of the material is actually really, really nice. So this would make some fun, easy projects too. And then I got another one. I'll just show you the tip of it and not unwrap it. It's kind of that cracked prismatic look. It's so pretty. Anyway, that's what I got from Sweet and Sassy, and I cannot wait to start playing again with my embroidery machine. Of course, I'm not unpacked yet. I mean, I took this stuff out of my boxes, And I put up most of the stuff from the Diva Night. So, I mean, most of my tools. I actually came home and I was like, I gotta have a better system for, especially organizing my grommets. I think the reason I have not done a lot of in the hoop projects lately for, you know, just new designs and stuff is because it's been hard to get all the pieces of my grommet press and everything together in the same place. I've reorganized my space a little bit, and so the grommets were in one place, the press was in another place, and it was buried under some stuff because I haven't used it in a while. And I gotta do better. I want to get back to playing with that kind of stuff, so I will. And I have a new plan, so sometimes a new plan, sometimes, you know, touching it and feeling it and doing some fun stuff with it again is all it takes to spark that creativity. And having the tools available is really important. If you want to make stuff, keeping your tools available or at least organized in a good way is really important. And if I get that down, I'll show you what I did to get it sorted out. Okay, another place that I went, and we just had so much fun in the vendor hall itself because the other vendors are absolutely the most brilliant people. And so one vendor who has been there before is kind of a helper, but she had her own booth this time and was teaching, and I cannot wait to hear from her how she felt about all her sessions, but I heard they were fabulous and people loved them and she did a great job. So while there were people in classes and kind of winding down the last day, I did all this shopping at like the very end. Like we were almost ready to pack up and I was like, I gotta go shop. I saw stuff that I wanted. But Claire at Blanks-tastic was showing sublimation and laser things. The Epilogue laser people were there, and Claire had a bunch of laser cut blanks, sublimation blanks. She does custom things for people, so if you need a custom shape cut out, she'll do that for you. She'll work with you to make the perfect thing. She does lots of 3D things, and so I'm working with her on a little organizer thing that I'm going to do around the holidays. It's going to be kind of fun for some little gifty things, and it'll just be cute. But anyway, she's working on some custom things for me, but she did a demo and we all were over there just watching her do the thing. And she had these, okay, they're little tumblers, so itty bitty. So it's my hand, it's an itty bitty tumbler. They're like little shot glasses, and these are glass, so they have the little tumbler lid and the little straws. And you can sublimate on these. So you put a little design up here or down here, and the coating holds it on. And she showed a technique for not necessarily using a press, although I do have a heat press that is this size and shape so it could clamp on there. But she showed a much easier way to get that done. And so I am ridiculously excited. We kind of have like this thing in my house where we collect shot glasses. We're not like big drinkers, okay? I don't hardly drink at all, but my kids thought it was funny, and they thought it would make me upset or something when they were teenagers. When they would go on church camping trips, they would all buy shot glasses as souvenirs. One of them did, and then the rest started doing it after she did, and it never made me mad. I just was really amused that the kids went to church camp and they came home with shot glasses. Anyway, so they're probably not going to watch this, but I have big plans for Christmas for shot glasses for the kids, because most of them are now over 21, and so we can have a little fun like that. Anyway, I got a whole bunch of those from Claire at Blanks-tastic, and the ones that she ran out of in the booth, I went ahead and ordered them, and she's going to ship them to me. So Blanks-tastic is her website. Great person, super fun. She actually grew up around here, and we connected at Applique Getaway for the first time a couple of years ago, and so it's been really fun to find somebody that, you know, is from where I'm from and all that. Super fun. Anyway, she's great, and you should go learn from her too. Oh, and I didn't tell us about Sweet and Sassy, but Sweet and Sassy Blanks is run by the mom of the gal that put Applique Getaway together this year. So it's kind of a family thing, and y'all, they really went above and beyond and pulled out all the stuff. So Wendy Skaggs is the owner now of Applique Getaway, and her business is Sweet and Sassy Designs, and she does lots and lots of embroidery designs. She's just an awesome person and super creative, lots of fun. And but anyway, the Sweet and Sassy is where I got the first batch of vinyl. Something else that I got, was from my friend Alexis Galloway. And y'all, I am so proud of this girl. She is doing so great. She is an embroidery coach. So what she does is she helps people figure out how to do the embroidery. They get a machine. You can take the classes at the dealer, which are great. But if you have in your head that you want to do certain projects and you don't really know how to get there and get that professional finish, especially if you are wanting to make this a little business or you want to sell online, Alexis holds your hands through the whole process. And she has a group called So Sweet Academy. So that is her, she's a So Sweet studio. She does videos every Sunday talking about a new design or just a technique that you might be interested in. She's fabulous. And last year she published her planner for embroidery. And you might think, why do I need a planner for embroidery designs? Well, I'll tell you why you need a planner. Because sometimes when you're making something and you set it down or you give it away or you sell it, and then somebody else asks for one, and you may not have taken a picture before you sent that away. Or maybe you ran out of that thread, or maybe you don't remember where it is on your computer when you downloaded the design, or there's a whole host of reasons for why a planner with your embroidery might be helpful. And so Alexis has this gorgeous, it's called My Pretty Perfect Planner, and it is pretty and it is perfect. I'm so proud of her. Anyway, you need a planner like this because this will help you keep track of all of those details about that embroidery design, especially if it's something that you're super proud of, that you want to make again. You can make all of the notes for what you did and your recipe. So an embroidery design can be made 1,000 different ways, more than that. Like really, there's not a, there is no limit on how one embroidery design could be used or could be created, you know, based on the inventory of thread that you keep around or the materials that you have, you know, where you got your materials. You could put all of that down, and it's like writing your own recipe out so that when you need to do it again, you've got a note. You've got a lot of notes. You've got, you know, maybe your sketches, you've got the details, the supplies you needed down to the right thread colors. And one thing that I have learned in my years of doing machine embroidery is that certain thread colors I use all the time, especially if I'm doing stuff for people. Like I do a lot of towels for graduation, and usually people want the colors for the monogram of the school that the kids are going to later. And the school colors are certain colors, and there's certain colors down to the Pantone number or the hex code, which is, if you're into graphic design, those are the specific trademarked colors that the school uses for their brand. And I like to get as close as possible to that. Well, a long time ago, I made a list on sticky notes as I was getting those orders of what, you know, what thread matched Texas A&M's maroon color, or what thread matched UT's Longhorn burnt orange color. And based on the inventory of thread that I keep as my primary inventory, I always have those threads so that I can make those, you know, I don't have to go out and get new thread to make the thing. A planner like this would be a great way to keep that information, so it's not just on Post-it notes that end up, you know, maybe they fell on the floor and then it's part of the trash. You sweep it away and then you got to go do all that research again. So you need a planner. You need My Pretty Perfect Planner. So go check out Alexis Galloway. Oh, you can see the rain line on that. And her So Sweet Academy, and follow her, find out how you can get your own planner, and she'll ship it to you. I was so excited to see this in person. Alexis, it's beautiful. You did a bang up job on this. Everything you do is always top notch, and this is awesome. So excited that it's in my hands, in my house, in my sewing studio. Anyway, yeah, so excited. Okay, what else did I get? I got some other stuff. So my friend Melissa, her business is called Wizardry, Stitchery, and Geeky Hardware. It's a mouthful. We always joke about the names that we picked when we started our businesses, and we're like, why didn't we pick something that was easier to say and easier to write down when we're writing our web addresses or typing our emails in? But hindsight's 20/20, right? So note to y'all that are picking your name for your business Think about how many times you have to say this when you're giving your elevator pitch, how it sounds, how it'll sound in 20 years or 10 years or down the road. And also, do you have to write this out, and is it going to take you forever, or are you going to get a easy to write out domain? Think about that. Anyway, from Melissa, I got her brand new color of sewing string for machine embroidery. This is an embroidery thread. These cones are absolutely gigantic. It is 8 ounces of thread with 8,000 meters of thread on it. This is bigger than the ones that I normally get for my commercial machine. And it's so pretty. So this is kind of this color is called Serene Sky. And it's very soft. It's like very dusky purples and blues and a pink. It's very nice. It's not, a lot of her colors are bright and fun. This is very soft and soothing. And honestly, I want to use this in my serger to do some beautiful finishes with the serger, with the overlock stitches, the ones that show up really well. And I want to use this. I have some cuddle fabric that is this dark purple, and I think this is going to be just gorgeous on it for embroidery. Can't wait to use it. Anyway, that's what I got from her. And I also got some of her geeky, her geeky tape. I got the 1/4 inch size because I make a lot of bags, got zippers and stuff to do. This is great stuff. It's very sewable, so it's not going to gum up your needles. It's very, very strong. And the price that she has for this on her website is fantastic. It's worth the shipping. So if you didn't see her at a trade show, check it out on her website because it's a great price and it's good stuff. I got a couple of rolls of that because I go through this stuff. Anyway, that's all I got from her because I was trying to restrain myself because I have all of the other colors of the variegated threads, and I have a bunch of her threads for top stitching, like on bags, the heavier weight bonded polyester threads. I love them. I love them so much. And she's a fantastic person. Okay, something funny that happened at her booth, because she was talking about at a trade show or at an event, sometimes the internet is always a little whack, like it may or may not work all the time. And it's just a thing that happens. It happens anywhere. It happens anywhere we are. Like, you know, we're going around town and we're waiting for somewhere, and sometimes the internet doesn't work and we all lose our minds because we can't do our thing that we do when we're bored, which is scroll through our phone, right? Well, it happens at the trade show too. And so there were a couple moments where things weren't working right, and it was fine. The hotel was super gracious and really was very attentive to our needs as vendors, and it was fine. But I was showing her how I was using my phone with my POS, my Shopify point of sale system, to do the tap to pay. So like you can, I had forgotten my Shopify tools that plug into your phone that allow somebody to either tap or swipe their card. And in the past, I've used those. Those have been really great to have, and I forgot them. I mean, I took so much other stuff that I didn't need, and I forgot those two things that I actually needed most when you're doing an event. It's really helpful to have a way for people to pay you. That's important. And I realized that I forgot them as we were pulling things out and setting up the booth. So I was like, oh my gosh, my stomach just dropped. But one of the things that I do before we set up anything is I just double check that the prices that I've labeled things and the prices that I had marked on my things, I just wanted to make sure those things were all matching up, because sometimes at the vendor event, we price things a little bit funner because we have show specials. So I had some of those and I wanted to make sure they were all correct. Well, when I opened up my point of sale system on my phone, I had a notification from Shopify that says you can now use tap to pay on my phone. I didn't need my hardware. I didn't need my little plugins. It just worked like right from my phone. I was so excited. So literally I could, it's like the menu, when you see people at the fast food restaurant and they're just picking pictures. That's how my menu on my point of sale was. And I had several pages but we could just go click, click, click. You got, one of these, one of these, one of these, and a couple of these. And then you put it in the thing, and it shows in their cart. You attach their email address to it so they get a receipt. And in some cases, some of those products had digital files attached, so it would attach their files to it. It's a great system. But then after the checkout, when it asked to pay, it was a tap to pay on iPhone. And I was like, no way. And so people put their card on my phone, and it went bink, and then fireworks, and it was like, I mean, y'all, I felt so fancy. some people were a little bit more tech savvy than me, and they knew that they could bump their phone to my phone and use the Apple Pay. I mean, I took Apple Pay. I didn't know I could take Apple Pay, but I took Apple Pay. And then one lady was super cool, and she like had her watch so she could bump her watch to my phone and pay. Y'all, technology is amazing. It was so fun. It really made the whole thing, the whole show super easy because that checkout process was just streamless. So if you're somebody that does craft fairs and you use Shopify and you've been lugging around all those parts that plug in and the terminal and all that, this was so easy because we had our phones right there. Honestly, I didn't use my phone for much else. I didn't have time to scroll. I didn't have time to post or do anything on my phone that I normally do to waste time because we were so busy. But that point of sale thing was so fun. Anyway, back to Wizardry and Stitches. I was over at her booth acquiring some things and talking about how that had shown up on my phone, and it kind of saved me from having to enter everybody's credit card in manually, because a lot of these vendor events, people don't carry cash a lot like we used to, and so they want to pay with their card or their debit card or their credit card, and that's totally fine. And I was showing her how this worked, and so I made a fake cart, and I put myself as my customer. I was showing her how it just worked on my phone, but I was carrying my wallet around, and so I went to checkout, and because my phone was sitting in my wallet, I was holding them both in my hand, it sucked the information out of my business debit card, like right there. I'm glad it picked that one and not another card. But then I had to go through the process of refunding myself because I'd actually charged myself with tap to pay by demonstrating how the system worked. So that was fun, but it was funny. And it was a bonding moment, I guess, because we've all done things like that. But anyway, that was kind of silly and kind of funny. And so now you know, that's kind of the shenanigans that happen behind the scenes. All right, let me show you what else I got. So Shannon Nealon is Glitterbug Fairy. And if you're not familiar with Glitterbug Fairy, they are a supplier of vinyl. They actually do a lot of their own printing. They have custom printing abilities at their house or with their workshop. And so they print a lot of their own vinyl, and I've bought some before. In fact, I had some over there that I haven't even used yet from last year at Applique Getaway. But I'm going to be better than that this year, and I'm going to get all of that stuff organized so that I have a plan, because I have a plan for the stuff that I picked up from her. So let me show you the vinyl I got from Glitterbug Fairy. So this is more clear vinyl, clear-ish, but this doesn't have a backing. It's just the clear filmy parts, and so I call it jelly vinyl. I don't know if she called it jelly vinyl or if she called it something else, but I got my 3 favorite color. Well, I got this yellow. Yellow's not really my favorite, but it's such a buttery, lemony, banana-y, creamy yellow. I just couldn't help it. And I got the hot pink, of course, and then I got this black, which is just a really neat matte black, and this is going to be so fun for like little zipper bags. Whenever I make a tiny zipper bag, I always call it my emergency earring bag, because y'all know I make a lot of freestanding lace and freestanding lace earring designs, and you know, I don't want to lose track of those. And so when I at some point in the day I get crazy and all of the jewelry comes off, it's like, you know, I got to take the earrings off, take my watch off, take my ring off, and rather than just laying it down, sometimes I stick it on the console in the car, and then I end up losing one, and that's not a good system. So I've taken to carrying a tiny little zipper bag so I can put my earrings in it, and they're clipped to my purse or to my wallet. This kind of vinyl is really great for making those tiny little zipper bags. I have a design called the jelly bags. This is perfect for jelly bags. You could use a clear vinyl like the other kind I got from Sweet and Sassy, or I've gotten it before from My Punk Embroidery, who I absolutely love. Probably 99% of the vinyl that I have over there in those cabinets comes from My Punk Embroidery. But since Glitterbug Fairy had shown up at the event, and Shanna's a wonderful person, and I was just so delighted to see that she had this matte jelly vinyl. I can't wait to make some new jelly bags with these colors, because it's going to be so fun and cute. And I'm pretty sure that you could, you know, I know this holds up really well. So if you wanted to do some applique or even some detail stitching, that would be fun. You could totally do that. Another thing I got from Glitterbug Fairy was some cute packs of these wristlet, bumped it, these wristlet, she calls them foil wrist straps. This one had 15 in it. This one had 7 in it, and these are kind of metallic and sparkly. And anyway, I needed some of those because I use these in my, just, you know, to help make a pretty picture of it. So it has my little key fob, or the tags have something cute hanging off of them. I love these. I think they're fun. Every once in a while, I actually let my kids have one for their stuff. You know, and then she had all kinds of custom printed waterproof canvas. Y'all, this stuff is so beautiful. Typically you use waterproof canvas for lining your bags, but this is so pretty that you could totally use this for the outside of a bag. I mean, this is just gorgeous, and it's super well printed. So I'm always, I'm a big nerd, and I'm like wanting to make sure that, you know, when I buy a print, that it is really, really well done. Sometimes you get a fabric and you start sewing on it, and because it's a digital print, you get some of the white background that comes through, like when your needle goes through, then it kind of breaks the print and you can see the white background. So I'm always digging in the whole thing and like looking for the good stuff. And no, if you don't mind that, if you don't even notice that, don't go looking for it, because it's not really that big of a deal. It's something that I notice that just kind of bugs me, but I like, lots of things bug me like that are really not of any consequence. I love this because I have seen, I mean, I saw bags with it that she had made as display pieces, and it's so gorgeous. So when you sew on it, the background doesn't come through. So it's not only perfect for linings, but it's also perfect for outers for some of those bags. And I am just obsessed with this print, with these cherry blossom. I guess they're cherry blossoms, or sakura. That print, that style, they're just gorgeous. So pretty. She had oodles, and I could not afford everything that I wanted in her booth. I mean, I might have, if I had, in a more less disciplined part of my life, I might have bought it all. And then I'd been broke when I came home. But I didn't, so yay. And I also got some webbing from her. She had gorgeous colors of webbing, like the 1/2 inch, I mean, not 1/2 inch, 1 inch. So this is the 1 inch size of webbing that you use for the handles of purses and backpacks or bags. You can also use it for like the inside of the handles for totes that you make out of fabric. This color is way too pretty to be on the inside of everything. And I think this is a fun addition to my collection of webbings. This is my hot pink color that I love. This is the hot pink color that I'm obsessed with, and I would have gotten it in the wider, but she was already out because I was shopping at the end of the show. Should have gone around first. Anyway, and then I got this pretty turquoise blue. You can see I have a lot of that in here. It's just a fun color and I like, and I use it a lot. So that's what I got from Glitterbug Fairy, and she had the cutest totes. Look at this. Is that, oh, it's so shiny it doesn't even show up well on camera. This side is less wrinkly. Look at that. Isn't that adorable? Shiny, sparkly, fun. I love fun. I love shiny. I love sparkly. Okay, is that all I bought? No, I bought more. But you know what? Because I was shopping at the end of the show, it was already gone. So one of the classes that I was teaching, I was telling people about a product that I use, and they told me that one of the vendors had one similar to what I was showing them. Like I brought mine, I was showing them and telling them about it and where to get it. And they were like, oh yeah, Eve Lowry from the Baby's Booty has that, and it's better and it's bigger. And I was like, and it was cheaper. I mean, it was something from like Dollar Tree I was showing them, and it was cheaper than Dollar Tree. And I was like, we're all going to go out here and we're all going to go to Eve's booth and grab some. She was out. She was already out. So I had some other things that I wanted to get from her. And so instead of getting the last of the things that she had at her booth, I mean, not the last, she had plenty. She was able to fill everybody's thing. I just ordered it online, and before, I know it was before, I mean, maybe it was when she just got home, I already got a ship notice, so it should be here in a couple of days. So I ordered that. It's a translucent sheet that's like 15 by 18, I think, and I use that for template plastic, for cutting templates for patterns. What I had shown in my class was these Dollar Tree cutting mats, and I was like, y'all, these are great. They're 2 for $1.25 or $1.75. As I hear the Dollar Tree is going to be the $2 tree soon. Anyway, they were telling me about the ones from the Baby's Booty, and they're like $8, 15 by 18 sheets for $10. The ones from Dollar Tree are 2, and they're like 11 by 13 size, which sometimes for bag making patterns, I end up having to either only do half and then do a flip, or I cut 2 pieces and then I have to finagle them together with like super strong tape or glue them or whatever. This is revolutionary to me. So they were a great place. So go to thebabiesbooty.com and go to her buy now page. She has 2 pages. She has a buy in, which is a once a month. The price is a little bit lower because you wait a little bit longer because she does it all once a month. Or you can do buy now and the price is just a little bit more, but you get it right then, you know. And so I got that. I got some of her sparkles and some of her rhinestone tools because the rhinestone girls showed up at Applique Getaway, and y'all, I learned so much from them. I learned so much, and I was like, and then Eve had these pretty new colors, and I was like, oh, I want some of those, but they were already sold out. One called Black Ice, or Icy Obsidian, that's what it's called. It's a black crystal that's like extra sparkly, and I just needed them. So those are coming too. And did I order anything from anybody else that I couldn't get there? No, these other tumblers from the ones from Claire. Did I tell you about the glow in the dark ones? So there were these clear glass ones, and then there were the glow in the dark ones that were sublimatable. And she had already sold out of the glow in the dark ones. So I went ahead and ordered from her there, gave her my address, and she's going to ship those. So those were already paid for at the show. They're just coming later. And then the stuff from the Baby's Booty is on the way. And that's all I ordered. I mean, there was so much more I could have spent money on. I did not buy a new embroidery machine, even though they had strategically placed me right across from the Happy Japan people. And I love that machine. It's a fabulous embroidery machine that does a lot, and it's really user-friendly. It's a commercial machine. They have single heads and they have multi-heads, but honestly, what I have works just fine, and I don't need a new one. And I also don't have room for any more machines, as I remind myself so often, because not all my kids have flapped their wings, and they're still kids here. So I can't bring another machine home that's that large. I have plenty of room for small sewing machines though, so nothing wrong with that. But I can't have anything big. Anyway, I was across from them, and so it was really fun to watch all of their stuff going on, because they had a lot of cool stuff. I didn't buy a new sublimation printer because the one I have is just fine. I didn't buy a laser because I have a little one on the porch that I don't use often enough to justify a big one. Also, I have no room for that. But y'all be proud of me, because I did not did not spend all my money. We actually had a great profit. The shoppers were so generous and so kind, and they shopped so well. They did such a good job, and it was just really, it was overall just a super great show. It was fun, so much fun, and I can't wait for next year. Applique Getaway is a great event, so if you're interested in learning about embroidery, of course, but also sublimation, laser cutting, rhinestones, all of that, it's a great place to do those things, to connect with other people that speak your language, and to learn a bunch of stuff. There's so much creative energy in a room like Applique Getaway that you just come home energized and full of ideas and full of just inspiration. It's a great place. I highly encourage you, if you are able at all, to come. I learn a lot as a vendor. I learn from the people that come, and they show me what they've made with my stuff, and they show me how they did something different that blows my mind. I absolutely love that. We get to collaborate, we get to talk. All of the creative energy is just fantastic, and we're utterly exhausted at the end of every day. So for those of us whose minds are going the whole time, it's a really great way to get full of stuff, and then you get really good sleep that night because you're so incredibly tired. So maybe it's the equivalent of sending your kids out to play or taking them to the pool so they get tired so they actually sleep. That's what it's like for people like me. Fun. So much fun. Christine Shreve brought all of those people together at Applique Getaway, and she did an amazing job just connecting everybody with the event, making sure their needs were met, making sure that they knew where they were supposed to go. Some of us with a crazy brain, you know, we don't necessarily know what time or where we're supposed to be, and so she made sure all of that happened, and it was such a treat to see her in person. She's a fabulous marketing gal, and also getting to chat with her and hug her neck and just sit in her presence was a gift. So I hope that you'll consider going to Applique Getaway in Irving, Texas next year. Check out the appliquegetaway.com website. If you want to hear more from me, go ahead and follow me and subscribe to my channel if you're watching on YouTube. And I'm going to be showing you some things to make with all the stuff that I brought home and sharing a little bit more of my process, because I haven't done that enough. I really got inspiration to share more online, and so I'll be doing more of that. I can't wait, and have some new ideas and just better ways of doing what I've been doing, but so that it reaches you better. Anyway, that's all for today. I had a great time. I'm still on my adrenaline rush, and I'm going to use that energy to finish unpacking, put this stuff in its right place so that it's accessible and ready to be part of my process. So thanks for watching, and we will see you later.